back to our channel.
My name is Oliver.
And I'm Mrs. Williams.
Z.
Mrs. Williams.
There you go.
And then
And
baby
welcome to-
William. That you can't see it.
And welcome to the Williams family journey.
Woo!
We didn't get it right. Alrighty.
What's the point of today's video?
So the point of today's video is we change our birthing plan. From our last video about our updates about our last 2 OB appointments earlier this month, we decided to change our birthing plan, and we're going to discuss that birthing plan with you and how that went so far.
Okay.
All right. This is going to be a 2-part video, and I'll explain that later. But when you see this, let's date this video. So today is
the 4th.
Today's the 4th of
February. I'm 26 weeks today.
And by the time you see this, Simone will be
Closer to 30 weeks or so.
matter of fact, no, you're gonna be 6 months pregnant and in your 3rd trimester.
Okay.
So we can say that.
Okay, yeah.
Yay! In the future. So you want to discuss what we did?
Okay. Yes. So we hopefully you haven't watched it. Hopefully you have watched the last video. If you haven't, please
there's a card up the top that's gonna come out. You click it
and then you watch it. Okay. So I started doing research and speaking to other moms. We had different birth experiences, and to also kind of like make sure that what I was feeling, it wasn't just me. So I decided to check a birthing center. They do a birth at your center, or they could come to your home, right? So I decided to check them out. They are here in Los Angeles, and I went online, reached out to them. They have a bunch of they had an interview, like news interview, and I also
that meant while she was researching them, they've had interviews with the news on TV that were on, we'll say, social media or YouTube. Yeah,
or NBC, something like that. So I got to see that, and then I also got to when I went on the social media, I saw 2 persons that I know who followed them. So I kind of reached out to them to see what were their experiences, etc. And then my first thing I did, I scheduled they had like a group consultation. So I scheduled that group consultation. Actually, I scheduled it like right before my second appointment with the OB this month, right? I scheduled a group appointment to kind of see.
Last month.
Last month, sorry. So I scheduled that appointment to kind of see how it would go before I went to my last appointment with the OB of January, right?
In January.
So I went there. It was good. I'll let you know how it went. And then I went to the OB, and then I came back and I scheduled a one-on-one. I spoke to a midwife, and then we decided from there.
Okay, so in a nutshell, our birthing plan is to go with a midwife instead of a OB/GYN. The reason why we're doing that is I'm going to speak for Simone real quick. From her last encounters with the OB, she felt like she needed someone to understand her a bit more that she could tell, so she could start feeling better after the appointments, not just, you're doing good, okay, go. So she wanted more of like a homely vibe and things like that. So for those of you that don't know, a birthing center / a home birth, it's pretty much having a birth outside the hospital with under the supervision of a midwife. So we decided that Simone's gonna not go the hospital route, and we're gonna do the home birth, but we're doing it at the birthing center. So that's what we chose to do, and we had our first appointment yesterday, February 3rd. But before we get into the appointment, let's just, before going into the appointment, I know I did a lot of research about birthing centers and things like that. What did you want to get out of it before we went there?
So I just wanted to make sure the person hears me out, right? Because I know midwives are the medical provider, right? They're not just a person who just woke up. Like I know the medical provider. I know they know this stuff. I just want to make sure that I have someone, so to speak, to hold my hand, who's going to hear my feelings and make sure that I'm not scared going to this journey. I'm not scared. Like I go there, nice and calm, and I have all the support and not feeling rushed or feel like my feelings are not valid. So I really needed to kind of like hear that warmth. And so that's what I was going in there. That's what I was expecting more.
Yeah.
So we did have an interview with her on one-on-one,
Yeah.
a virtual interview first, and I spoke to her. It was great, but then again, it was just like virtual, right? So I wanted to make sure that okay, so this is what I got from the interview was great, but let me see how.
But she like it's like she was saying all the right things that you wanted to hear. So
Yes. So should I talk about that a little bit or?
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So we did the interview. It was supposed to be 30 minutes, but it ended up being like maybe 45 or 1 hour, the virtual interview, because it was still like a free consultation. And the midwife also happened to be a mom herself. And then she told me her story about like, the different birth. And that was very inspiring. And she just heard me. She just heard me say, I totally understand how you feel. And that's one of the reasons why we have this center, because many women feel like, oh, they went to the hospital, it was still like chaotic, whatever. They didn't really feel like that support.
Yeah.
So that's why we decided to do this. So we're like, okay, great. All of it was kind of like in the background. Like
I wanted Simone to do the one-on-one, but I was in the background. But the midwife, insisted me being in the picture. I'm not sure if she thought I was going to be there or something like that, but whatever the case may be, she wanted me to be there and just talk and things like that. But
so that's we had that, and then we scheduled the in-person consultation. I think the following week, right? And then in the meantime, I felt great about it. So I personally didn't do any research. Not that I ever really do that much research. Anyway, I did research the center, obviously, but after that, Oliver went and
So the center itself is a Black-owned business owned by two Black midwives and have a few doulas in their staff.
And then they have 2 extra midwife again, actually.
Okay.
So
they have 4?
Yeah, so the founders are 2 of them, and then they added 2 more.
Okay.
And then they have also 4 midwife students. Okay. And I think some of the midwives are also doulas.
Yeah. So one thing, I started researching home birth. So one thing, especially in America, it's hospital. Everyone gears for the hospital and things like that, which is what it is. So I really started looking into the mentality of the midwives, the home birth, and things like that. And one movie that I watched was The Business of Giving Birth. And I think either the director or the producer was Ricky Lake, for the 80s babies out there, that Ricky Lake. And just the difference in care between the OB and the midwife. So after looking into that, getting like a deep dive into that, and I started to understand the mentality. Because one thing about hospitals, we all know the hospital, just like we all know like fast food and things like that. So we understand, okay, that's food, a food resource. It's not until you educate yourself, you know what? There's good food and there's bad food. So hospitals aren't bad, but for Simone's situation, her being a low risk pregnancy, it made better sense for us to go this direction, especially the kind of care Simone wants to have. And that's the big arching theme, is Simone wants to have a certain level of just understanding and being taken care of. So the midwife experience seems to take all those approaches, and since it's a home birth / birthing center, there's no anesthesia or anything like that. So the midwives, they do a lot of, we'll say, holistic, homegrown, we'll say, kind of rituals kind of thing that, worked back in the days for thousands and thousands of years, and just got lost in the modern technology era and marketing.
Yeah.
So I believe this is going to be the right step for Simone, as long as she understands when she goes and give birth that it's all on her. It's game time. I'll be there as much as I support. I'll be there as much as I can be, but it's gonna be game time with Simone. So
yeah, I want you to kind of also talk about like the different family that you found, like when you were watching that documentary, how like the one of the patient, she came there and then I guess maybe she got there too early and she wasn't really dilated, something like that. They say,
Oh no, so that I want to put that in another video.
The video, okay.
That's so what hospitals do and what midwives do. It's the same thing, but the two different mentalities, and that in itself I could talk about for about an hour.
Okay, all right.
So we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna talk. This is just your mentality behind what we're doing, why we're doing it, and how our first appointment went.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So let's go to boom.
Okay. So first appointment. The first appointment was supposed to be. It says 45 to an hour. I think it lasts about like an hour and 15 minutes.
All appointments are that time frame, 45 to an hour.
Mm-hmm.
The OB appointments were 5 to 15.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, keep going.
All right, so we got there. It's basically it's a home.
Yeah,
right. It's
someone's house.
It's someone's house. Like
And
they
built it up.
They built it up indifferently. So very clean. Different birth room. The birth room has a comfortable bed, and it also has a nice tub. So if you want to do a water birth, everything was like they have everything there. So first it was kind of like nice to kind of go there because
it's like
I don't like hospital.
Yeah.
I mean, who likes hospital? It's kind of scary.
You've never been in a hospital like
yeah,
that.
because I'm
Me
trying.
either.
Yeah, because I don't want to go in there.
Yeah.
Like I try not to.
So think of it as like a yoga studio.
Yes, that's kind of like the environment was kind of giving like it's peaceful, it's welcoming. So that was like a check, And then they also gave me snacks, and they were protein bars. So I initially we first met with the student midwife, who's also a doula. She took us in because we kind of got there a little early.
Doula / teacher.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. She's a teacher too. Yeah.
So
she showed us like the whole place around. She said when you come here, they have your room, they have a kitchen. So there's no limit of people that could come. Obviously, you just have to make sure everyone is like safe and not sick, stuff like that. And the place has a kitchen, it has a garden. So if I already had other kids, the kids could come and stay in the backyard. So all of them could be there. My mom could be there. If one of my friends wanted to be there, they could also be there. The place is big enough. And the thing is like they don't take that many clients at a time. So the chances of me giving birth while another person is giving birth there are very slim. But they do have another room, and like I said, they have 4 midwives, right, to accommodate everyone. But they take very few clients in a month, so there's no rush. All right, so finally met the midwife in person. Very lovely, very warm, and the appointment was very, very thorough. We had the chance thorough.
There we go.
We had a chance to ask so many questions, and she went in detail with everything from my asking questions step by step about my sleep, my nutrition, how much water I'm taking. It wasn't like, oh, you're a trainer, you eat well, I drink water. No.
Yeah, you look fit. That's one thing we hate is when people look at you and say, okay, we could pretty much, we know you already.
Yeah.
We could stereotype you, we could tell.
No, there was none of that.
Nah.
Like, I like that she went into detail, right? Like, kind of like, okay, she said, tell me what you ate yesterday. Like breakfast, lunch, dinner, and everything. So she was able to kind of like even make me see, right? Because like
what we would do when we get a first client that wants to lose weight.
Exactly, right? So it's kind of the thing about having a person like that, because coaches need coaches, right? And sometimes it's hard to be objective with yourself, right? Because you think you know, and you're like, oh, yeah, I know what to do, but it doesn't tell me like you're actually following the steps. Right? Yeah. You're gonna see that's why when people go into bodybuilding, they're already trainers, but they're always gonna hire somebody on the outside who's gonna look and give them a plan. So going to her, she literally asked me from my sleep, like, are you sleeping? How much sleep did you get? Like,
do you take naps?
Did you take naps? How much water do you drink? Okay, how much water did you drink yesterday? Today? What did you eat this morning?
Yeah.
Step by step, what did you eat yesterday? And kind of like, okay, you ate this. Okay, we need to talk about that. What kind of supplement are you taking? Are you taking this? Are you taking that? Are you she was so thorough. And then she also asked about my past. She already had all my medical form that I would transfer to her. She went step by step into it, like kind of ask me.
Yeah. She made sure the birth date, the EDD, estimated delivery date. The one we told them about, the ultrasound doctor had. Yeah. All that stuff.
So she really did all of that. And then every time she would stop and ask questions, we both had a lot of questions, right?
Yeah.
All of her question was more about like the more technical, like, how things are going to go.
Yeah.
Me was more like about how she's going to take care of me, right? And also, like, for instance, like there were a few things that I was told to stop eating or whatever the case is, she was like, no.
Stop eating, stop eating, start doing.
Yeah, stuff
and
like
things
that.
like that.
And it's kind of crazy. Even my mom, when I had told my mom, she was kind of like, okay, I'm not a doctor. She let it go. So it was kind of nice to have this midwife kind of like say, no, you could take this.
Yeah.
And then she also had like, she said, okay, you could take this tea, right? And then she had it. So she gave it to me.
Yeah, a lot of things. So pretty much after Simone spoke about what she does, what she eats and stuff like that, the midwife pretty much filled in the gaps.
Yeah.
Filled the gaps. Like, okay, she looked at your blood work. Okay, Simone's anemic.
Yeah.
That means when she gives birth, she's going to be extra anemic. So
Yeah.
she gave us pretty much what to eat to help boost her iron.
Yeah.
Iron supplement that wouldn't adversely affect Simone.
Yeah.
Like she was filling in those gaps. The tea, because the any kind of leg cramps and stuff like that might need to help you sleep if you're having trouble sleep. Like she heard everything and started to fill in the gaps.
Exactly.
She gave us, and Simone's eating habits were up to par, especially, well, we get into that.
Yeah.
Especially some tests she has to do. So she's like, you know what, you need to eat, you need to up your protein, down the carbs.
Yeah, and up your greens.
Up the,
So I kind of like that it wasn't just kind of like, oh, let's just see what your results are going to say and then we're going to fix it.
Yeah.
Like, no, let's make sure you're getting this, so that, by the time the result, she also said, you know what, from your last result, I can see you were anemic. Start taking this.
Yeah.
So we can see how it's going to change when you would take the next time you take your blood test, right? Which is like maybe like in 2 weeks. And then I'm gonna see from there if we need to double up the dose and everything.
Yeah.
But she went and told me, she even gave me a book. She gave me a book of like, okay,
Yeah.
these are like because honestly, I mean, like I said, we do know, but we forget. Okay, these are the different food groups, right? You need more iron. You need more. So go find these are the food that you can find. Leafy greens.
Yeah, since you need more iron, that means you need more vitamins. It was a C, right?
Yeah, exactly.
To help absorb the iron.
more the iron, like little stuff
Yeah.
like that you don't think about. So it was kind of nice, but I feel like because she had a whole hour, right? So like I
Yeah.
said, we went step by step. I kind of confused, like my blood type too. I think I wrote it wrong. So she's like, wait a minute. So if this is your blood type, we need to kind of like figure something out.
Yeah.
And then she went against, oh no, that's not it. You, and she went and corrected, and she gave me my right blood type. And she said,
yeah, Simone doesn't know her blood type.
I mean, I always knew I was a universal donor. That's kind of like what because my blood type was given to me when I was really, really young. And I was just told, like, Simone, you could give blood to anybody. So that's what I always known. But then I forgot. I mean, it's been a minute since I took bio classes. But I was like, wait, am I O negative or O plus? Anyway, so she explained that, oh yeah, because if you're O negative, then we have to do something else. But since you're O positive, you don't have to do any of that. So I just kind of felt like she heard me, she listened to me. I felt good, you know?
Yeah.
Literally every question I asked. Like for instance, she said, okay, there are 4 midwives here, right? And you're gonna get to, before I even ask, you're gonna get to know everyone. Because the day off, because they have 2 head midwives. It could be me, it could be the other one, or the 2 other ones. Or you might be lucky, all of us are here. But the point is that you're gonna know everyone here. So when you do come here,
new faces.
Exactly. No one is a stranger. No one is invading your space. So I really, really like that, you know, and the fact that, oh, there's a kitchen. There's none of like, oh, you can't eat this and you can't eat that, because a lot of times, like, when you go to the hospital, they tell you to stop eating. You can't.
Yeah.
No, they say that, you know.
There's a reason for that.
Yes,
but
exactly. Next
whatever.
video.
Yeah.
And she also said, what else? She said, no, I could bring, my mom could come there and she could make a little food and I could eat it, whatever.
But a lot of things was just, like, it was just, we were...
I feel like I really had like a thorough physical.
Yeah, but no, it was like we were being taught what it takes to give birth. Mm-hmm. And when we went to OB, she didn't really instruct us on anything.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, look at these labs. Okay, do this. Look at these labs. Do this. You're good.
Yeah.
You're strong. You're fit. Anything wrong? Okay, bye. But this one's like, no, you're going to need this. You're going to need this.
Yeah.
Get used to this. You're going to start drinking this. We're going to get your body, like, we're getting you ready now. So when it happens, you can recover faster.
Exactly.
So it was all, it's a,
yeah.
Again, it's like a full circle.
Yeah, and the good thing about like her, the midwife, they also have they have like 2 hospital and other OB that they work with. They're not afraid to refer, right? So she said, like, listen, we're gonna do everything that we can to make sure this is like a nice procedure, a nice, you know, everything goes according to plan, whatever. However, if thing gets out of hand, you know, we're gonna make sure that we transfer you. right? They feel like, oh my God, we're going to keep you here. No, so I kind of like, listen, the hospital doesn't go anywhere. The hospital's not going anywhere. If
Yeah,
you need to
so-
go to the hospital,
So right now our hospital is Plan B.
exactly. So hospital is
Plan
not.
A is Simone thugging it out.
Yeah, and then honestly, also like one thing I also kind of like that can make me feel, I know it's gonna be painful. I know it's not like oh okay, I'm skipping to the gym or I'm skipping whatever. I had a crazy workout.
It's a
I know
process.
it's a process, but the fact that also like, listen, this is more like, you could do this. Your body is meant for this, and there are ways to prepare you for it.
Yeah.
Right. There are ways to prepare you, like and another thing also, she said like sometimes when you're too stressed going in, things don't happen.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Things-
know that even
things
like
happen 'cause you're too stressed.
You're too stressed, right? And they don't necessarily happen the way you want to.
Yeah.
So it was really nice to kind of like be, to feel reassured, and
It's almost like it's empowering.
yes, you
It's
know,
like you have a big exam coming up.
yeah.
You're doing everything now to slowly get familiar, then go
Exactly,
to that.
because honestly, we not taught birth, right? My mom didn't teach me about birth. My grandma didn't teach me. She probably already forgot. And another thing that also made me want to go in this route, I asked my mom, like, although she gave birth in a hospital, I think it's mostly because like back home, like the way we grew up, most people don't have necessarily the infrastructure to have.
Back home is Cameroon.
Yeah, they don't necessarily have the infrastructure to have birth at home.
Infrastructure.
Or some do. But my mom said all her kids were birthed by a midwife. Even though it was in a hospital, it was always a midwife, and it was only people who had an issue that a doctor would come assist. And I can understand that also because I lived in a very small little town, and if you had to go to the hospital, it wasn't like something like here where it's very accessible. You could easily call an ambulance and they block traffic and they go there. So I think that's why one of the reasons also why they would probably go to the hospital and then have the midwife. My mom said she never saw a doctor. Only after she finished, they would check the baby and everything like. So that kind of gave me, okay, if my mom had all of us, 8 of us, with a midwife, and then she was fine, why can't I do that now? So here in the middle, we're like, listen, this is
It's like
it's not a medical it's not I'm not sick.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, you're not going in for an operation.
Yeah, I'm not going there
you're
for
not
like
going into
for treatment. Like what is that? What I'm looking? Yeah,
I know what you're trying to say, but I can't.
Yeah, it's like it's not a
like a procedure.
A procedure. It's not. You know, like for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
But so she did that, and then I lay down on my stomach, and she used her the baby monitor. She heard the heartbeat. She's like really strong. They measured me, and then this was the first time Oliver actually really, I guess, sees me in that position.
Yeah, the first time I seen Simone on her back.
Yeah,
I've never seen her on her back, and
I mean, you did see me a little bit on the OB, but she like
no, on your laying down flat.
I
seen you. I was an
incline. Yes.
This is the first time flat, and your stomach was like, it wasn't round. It was like, whoop. I'm like, what is that?
Yeah. And then she also invited you.
Before that, she felt for the baby. Literally,
position.
She's feeling for the baby. She's like, I'm usually like, She's like, she's really not. I'm not saying anything crazy, but she was just. She knew where the baby should be, and she was kind of having her hands around the baby, pressing into Simone's stomach, and she invited me to come and touch the baby.
Come touch the baby.
Yeah. She's like, that's the head. That's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And then she's like, the position is really great.
Yeah.
And we're gonna keep
the heart. You said the heartbeat was strong.
Yeah.
So keep monitoring, and that's how they are. They have their approach is not invasive.
Yeah.
They're not all up in you monitoring. They're like, okay, boom, it's good, bang.
Mm-hmm.
Like they check up. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing goes crazy, but so. And
then I like, because from the conversation her in person, I like the fact that she walked us. She kind of like basically kind of gave us a birth lesson, right? Yeah. And so that was kind of nice to know what we're getting ourselves into. Like it's not gonna it's not gonna be like it's just she gave us a lesson on birthing, and just kind of make like listen, you got this. We're gonna be here to help you. We're gonna do what we need to do, and I got to see the different moms. I got to see the pictures of the different babies that were sent by the parents who gave birth there.
So pretty much it's like it's building a community, and again, like it's building a community, and like I could go on and on about that, but it starts at birth. It starts at just having the mother there and stuff like that, but. Yeah,
it was very comforting. It was really, really nice. I'm so glad. Honestly, I feel like that I feel like I know that's what I needed. I don't want anybody rigid. Like
Like me.
yeah. I don't want any rigid. Some people are good, like I said, tell me. No, I need my hand to be held. I need, like, I people pour a lot to me. Like, like just kind of like, oh my God, Simone, I was doing this. Like, oh my God, how was my day? Whatever. And I don't mind that. I like that, And I'm so glad people could trust me like that to be vulnerable with me. So I've never thought I would really need this kind of support until I got here.
Yeah.
And then I realized, wow,
Well, yeah,
I don't just need
yeah.
somebody to tell me, oh, you do well, it's okay, you're doing fine. Like, no. Another example, right? Okay. So there are I need to know why you're doing certain things. Okay, so I remember like the first time I went to the OB, right? The very first appointment when I was pregnant, her medical assistant, I don't know what her title is, I'm gonna say medical assistant too, for lack of a better word. She took my urine, right? And then she basically took that to test me for actually pregnant. Okay, and then she charges us. Like she charges us for the pregnancy test.
She charged us.
The hospital, whatever.
The
thing.
Right? We were charged for that test.
And I just kind of like, I wasn't told. It was to double check. I felt like, I don't know if we were told or not, I don't remember. And I just kind of felt like, I already told you I was pregnant. I am. I'm already paid for my visit. Why are you gonna make me pay extra for this test, right? Okay, fine. Now, every time I will come there, she will always ask me if I need to pee, and then she would like make me pee in a cup and go. And I would just like, the first few times I just kind of like say no, like I would pee home before I get there. But she never really told me exactly what was for. And then obviously, because I was peeing often, before I leave the house, I will make sure I pee before I go, right? So every time I will get there, I'm like, oh, I just pee, I don't need to pee again. And I just kind of like, why? Because I'm like, why even asking me for that? Like, I didn't know. And even a few times I did, she didn't tell me what it was for. And then finally I said, you know what do you always ask for me to pee in a cup? What is this for? I think she said something along the lines, I need to check for my glucose level. In my head, I'm like, I feel like I didn't have to ask.
You shouldn't have to.
I shouldn't have to ask. I shouldn't have to ask, like, what is this? She's going to be, okay, you know what? We need to get your glucose level. And then every time she would get it, I'll just know that's what it's for. And if I don't hear anything, I'm guessing it was good. But even like the very first time, I didn't know what it was for, right? And I just kind of like, I'm not a doctor. Like, I don't walk in the house. I don't know. I know maybe for them to like, oh yeah, this is for that, this is for that. Like, yeah, I know you see 20 people a day, and then it's a routine for you. But like, person like me, I don't know. I have to like, you have to tell me. So I just kind of like, I didn't like that. Like, you could just do a test and not tell me what it's for, or even like take my blood pressure and not tell me, oh, it's good. Tell me something. Like some people don't like to hear it as in, oh, if you don't hear anything, it's good. No, tell me something. You just did something. I want to hear it. My oxygen level, like tell me, like maybe just the first time, okay, we want you to be between 95 to 100, right? So every time I look, okay, you could tell me, but the first time, if I didn't know how to read it, you just look at it, it gives you a random number. You're like, okay, what is, there's no explanation. So I kind of like, and I could see, they only have 5 to 15 minutes. I can see why they can't really tell you everything. And like I said, that could work for some people, but I realized like that is not working for me. That's not what I need. I need to be told what we're doing, when we're doing it. Like she told us when in 2 weeks, so coming back, we're going to get our glucose test. I was like, okay, I know there are 2 type of ways. And she explained both ways. Oliver was happy that he got his answer. And I knew like, okay, from the way she explained, I already know which one I want to get, right? And telling us, okay, we're also going to get your blood work. The blood work, we're going to do the blood work to check this. Like, I like to be explained stuff. Like, like I went to school. I just want to be told what we're doing and what it is for. And also feel like I matter, like my feelings are, like even just like, she asked me how's my stress level, like how much am I sleeping? She said, okay, I need to start taking a little bit more magnesium on your way to sleep to just make sure you're well rested. Like all that kind of stuff, it just kind of felt, I feel like I was ill with an auntie.
Just reassuring that someone's like, okay, someone's looking out after for you. Like, okay, you might be stressed out, you might be mentally all over the place, how you doing that, this, that, and third.
Yeah, and even with you too, she's like, she asks you how you're feeling. She said because like although it's not necessarily you going through this process per se, but it's also affecting you, it's affecting everything. So
camera cut off, but
we didn't know.
Yeah, we didn't know our issues as a newbie YouTuber.
Yes.
So we said a lot. We forgot what we said, so we're gonna just kind of end it here.
Yeah.
So what we're going to be doing in the future, let's just wrap things up in the future. So going down this path, we're going to be going through a whole different set of things now. So I think we have to take a birthing class. We have to take a lactation class.
And I'm also going to do a therapy.
Yeah.
Right? Like kind of like
a
pre-therapy. Yeah.
Is it one-on-one or group?
It's like a smaller group. I think like 3 or 4
group,
people, who are all women who are pregnant, to kind of like make sure we are, we're good. Like
in the right state of mind.
Right state of mind. So I really like that. So the last time when I was there, she gave the therapist my contact, and as soon as I got home, I already got her contact, and I'm scheduled for my first one-on-one first before we do the group interview to kind of like make sure the group matches.
Yeah. And we also so we're going to this journey, everything we do, because again, not a lot of people go down this route. A lot of people do the hospital, and they heard of this.
Yes.
They heard of birthing at home, or people have done it, or birthing centers. So hopefully we could be a good guide on what this route goes. Because
given that we started with a hospital, right?
Yeah.
So we have an idea of how
more than halfway through the pregnancy,
and then this. And honestly, also another reason why we're also even sharing this, like I said, we wanted to share this so anybody could kind of like come in here and grab 2 things, or maybe not want to do it,
or even reach out.
It's basically because we want to make sure that people are aware of the different ways you could go about this, right? And basically kind of hear and then make your own decision from it.
Yeah.
Like we're not asking people what should we do, right? We're not asking what should we do. We're just basically, how was your experience? What did you do? What did you like about this versus that? Okay, good. And then we have to see what works best for us, right?
Yeah.
Like some people like the hospital. I know a mom who told me she selected to have surgery, not because she needed it, but she wanted C-section because she wanted to get drugs, cut, baby out, and then that's it, right? So midwife would not work for her.
Yeah.
So basically,
I think a lot of people, when they hear this, and especially towards the end of it, it's how you feel during. That's the big one.
Yeah.
How you feel
and
during.
And also, like, people are going to be like, what if something goes wrong?
Yeah.
Something goes wrong,
then
they could refer out.
We
have a plan B. We're going to talk about that even more. And
so,
we're going to even tell you even more in depth again why we decided to choose it, especially after Oliver also did a lot of research.
Yeah.
A lot of research. And also because of the fact that, like, I want to be taken care of. Like, I want to be helped. I need a lot of love. I don't need a 10-minute appointment. That's not enough for me.
Also, and get prepared for it and being taught why this is important.
Exactly. Like I've never had a birthing lesson, right?
Yeah.
There's no a class.
Crazy.
There's no like my mom never taught me, my grandmother. No, nobody ever taught me about it. All you hear is like, oh my God, it's painful. It's painful. It's painful.
Yeah.
And then they ask you, have you bought a stroller? Have you bought this? But nobody's really prepping you for the actual procedure itself, So it's kind of good to hear the different, like the procedure, like how we're going to start prepping your body for it.
Yeah, because my mother did it in the hospital to me and my 2 brothers. So no one that I know, actually take that back, but no one that I know has done this. But I currently have a coworker, his wife or girlfriend, partner, as they say, is going through this now in the same place.
Yes, that was just a coincidence.
Yeah, that was a literally coincidence, and I spoke to him his last day before going on paternity leave.
Yeah.
So he won't be back until later in March.
Yeah.
So
they're gonna have the baby before.
So when he comes back, I'll reach out to him. Just like I want everyone. I'm not sure how many. I know people have done this, but as a couple, not a lot of them talk about it. They probably just show you the day of. Yeah. But we want to show you the preparation into, because that's the part I think that's where the disconnect is. The preparation and the knowledge going into it. And if things go wrong, things go right, we'll tell you what the plan is. Yeah. So now we're just...
So the only thing is kind of like, this video, like today is February 4th. You're not going to see this video until maybe the end of the month or next month. Yeah. So the reason why we're doing it this way is because, like I said, we want to make our own decision. Yeah. And just kind of share what we decide to go with. Just kind of like when people share with us, it's not to tell us, oh, you should do this because I did that.
Yeah, it's just we're not looking for advice.
Yeah, it just like unless you want to share something, share your journey with us. Yeah, obviously share your journey with us. We're not here telling you, oh, you should be doing this.
Yeah,
it's like
we don't want no one telling us, oh, this bad experience. This
bad experience. No. Okay,
we're going down this route, and when we're in it, then we'll tell you
exactly,
and we'll tell
and
you
then we
as we go.
and then we explain to you why
Yeah.
we decide to do X versus Z.
Because
Whatever.
as you see that our earlier fitness video, people are already telling Simone she shouldn't work out.
Exactly. So it's like,
Yeah.
we want to make sure we're
doing this for our reasons.
exactly like
And what's
it's
the best
what
of
work,
our ability.
Yes, what worked for us. Do our own research. Listen to other people's story. Went through the different routes.
And all that for us to prepare.
Yes.
Yeah, so we want to hear your story so we can prepare for whatever, but we don't want you guys telling us what to do.
Just like we're not telling you what to do.
Pretty much.
Right?
I can talk like that. That's how I talk. Simone would say something like that.
No, this is just basically another thing. Also, I feel like you're not gonna. I personally, you don't see that many videos of people journeying this as detailed as we're about to do. Right? Giving you all the details.
We hope to do.
Yeah, as we hope to do. So like this is basically kind of like show you the step by step. So like if someone want to choose A versus B, they can listen to both and see our pro versus con and how we kind of like would manage to do this. So this is like the purpose of the video.
No doubt.
Right.
Well, the continued series of our journey.
Yes. So thanks again for watching.
Yes, thank you for watching. We're still in amateur hour.
Yes.
Cut off, we put it back on. We want to finish the video, but
I know. But we have to work on that because
we have to work on that.
So we don't lose our train of thoughts because this is not like a script. We just like talk.
We just talk and
then
the camera cuts.
We
don't know until we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks again for rocking with us. I really appreciate it.
Yes.
Share your story if you want to share with us. If you have any questions that maybe you want us to ask, or I don't know, midwife or whatever.
But also follow the journey, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you want to.
Yes.
It's up to you. Comment.
I know. Please watch.
Share.
And the thing is, like, you don't have to sit in front of the camera to watch. You could just play it while you're cooking. You don't have to, like, because we're just sitting down and talk.
Yeah.
All you have to do is
There's no action unless you want to see my kung fu.
All you have to do is just, like, give us your ears.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Alrighty. My name is Oliver.
I am Mrs. Williams S.
Alrighty.
All right.
No, last time you said William.
Yeah, but it didn't record it because the thing was cut. Anyway.
That was in the beginning.
That was in the beginning? Okay. I tend to forget my S's. Williams. Okay. All right. Au revoir.
All right. Peace.